Hey everyone, and welcome to day 19 recap of the Can Read case. As I talked about yesterday in my recap, this is potentially one of the last few witnesses we will be getting in the case. Not Doctor, because he never got a degree, Mr. Burgess, who were back on cross. And I have to say, I was not impressed with Alessi. Alessi had a stellar cross on Monday, and I know I might be in the wrong, but I don't think he was quite as effective yesterday. He just seemed a little bit off, didn't have the papers ready, kind of was going a little bit to and fro. I like it when he is sharp, and when he's sharp, he's a storyteller. He'll set it up, set it up, set it up, and then hit it out of the park. And it was clear that Burgess and Hanky Pank, even though Burgess claimed they didn't, had been talking about how the heck are we going to get you kind of rehabilitated as my witness. So he came in with a little bit of an attitude, but it didn't fix the problem. He lied about his credentials. I to this day still haven't figured out how he claims that he could align two clocks. I know he said, well, I chose this point in time because I think it shows the same. But how can you verify that? How can you, with absolute certainty, claim this time drift it's a massive time drift, up to half a minute, that occurred when you at the same time claim that there really wasn't any time drift, 1-2 seconds between Karen Read, but John's phone had a massive time drift. And I think I am of kind of a reasonable intelligence. I'm not a smart guy. I kind of can do math in my head. So I would say I am most likely like most jurors. And both on cross and redirect, when he was asked questions, I zoned out, totally zoned out, because this guy, first of all, he was boring to listen to. And they kept talking about 11:51, 11:56, 12:29, these timestamps that I might be in the minority, but I haven't seen them put into a context. Oh, that's what a timestamp is. I know because I watched trial one what they're talking about, the triggering events, and that list we saw of the triggering events. But when you are hearing about it all the time, 11:54, why is 11:54 important? Why is 11:51 important? What is it? And you're just sitting there taking notes. 11:50, was it 1 or 4? What was that, the one at this time or that time? It's really hard for me to put it into context. I'm a very visual learner. I like timelines on a chalk. I like presentations that's not made like it's that group project you made back in ninth grade to try and talk about the evolution of dinosaurs. I want a timeline saying this is when she starts the car. This is event number 1100. Then you can follow along and see this is when the car accelerates, decelerates, turns left, turns right. That's the 11:51, 52, 53, 55. So I know, oh, it shows me what the car is doing. But when you're just taking two numbers and keep switching between them, and I got lost, and I was just hoping for a setup and then a punch to the throat, because that sweaty pig annoyed me, especially because there's nothing worse than a guy with so much confidence and so little skill to back up his claim. So I still believe Alessi did okay on cross, way better yesterday than today. But I like it when he flows a bit more. Then we have Brennan coming up on the redirect, trying to reestablish his credentials, and the way he talked about the CV being BS, that, oh, you never submitted it, and it was Aperture that submitted it, but you still believe she did it at this time. And I'm thinking, what did she do at what time? They talk about a reverse incident, but because we haven't had Dr. Welter yet to tell us that this timestamp or incident or keystroke or whatever you want to call it is when we believe she hit him, I have no context to put that time in. I think they kind of put the cart before the horse by introducing these timestamps before we know what a triggering event is. Because again, put it on a chalk in front of Fairview, 11:54 happens, she moves forward, she backs up, she moves forward. Then I could, the timestamps lines up if I knew what we're talking about. Now I have to go watch that and remember the timestamps. I think they should have switched those two experts. But hey, he wants probably to end on the brain surgeon and the crash reconstructionist, so he can put in the gory details. I can understand why. That's why you normally end with the ME, so you can show the pictures of the deceased person. The recross was just a simple, you did lie on your CV. But no, it was Aperture. Aperture lied. He never knew anything about what they submitted to court. But most companies wouldn't just make up a CV. They will ask you and say, hey, can you fill out your credentials? And then you can say, okay. There was one little thing that I kind of missed, because Brennan asked him, do you have any training in computer hacking? And he said, nope, I don't. If you go back, and I actually did bring up his listed CV, he does have a class in computer hacking. So again, this guy is the ultimate liar, and Hank is probably more than happy that Alessi didn't catch that one. Because, again, he lied not only what degree he didn't obtain, and Hank tried to make it, well, you were trying to obtain it. He was trying to obtain it from a school that doesn't have that degree. So it doesn't matter that he claimed that he was just trying to pursue it. He couldn't have gotten it, even if he did go to school, because it didn't exist. But he does claim that he has special training in hacking. He lists that on his CV, and then he says on the stand, nope, I never did that. How can you be this bad? This is the second trial. I said it before we started. The second trial is always better for the defense, because they can adjust their approach, which I think they have done. The third-party culprit hasn't been quite as overshadowing as it was in the first trial. But the defense have brought witnesses. Burgess yesterday is probably worse than Trooper Paul. Because at least Trooper Paul, you could see he was a bubbling buffoon. This guy had the audacity to sit there and sweat and kind of try to imply that he knew what he was talking about. I don't think Brennan knew what he was getting. But oh my God, he should have background checked that company. We did get a little bit into Hanley, the lady who will testify, that there was a lot of glass on the scene. Some of it matched, some of it didn't. Some of it we will never find out where it's from because we tried it in the first case. The one thing is she kept talking about 5 pieces of glass on the bumper, but we did have the person who retrieved the glass, and she said there was 1 piece of glass on the, well, she did say 2 because she was too stupid to understand what a reflection is. Just because if you look in the mirror, you can see another picture of yourself, it doesn't mean that there's 2 of you. It just means there's one and a mirror. But she only had 1 piece of glass, and they kept talking about 5 pieces of glass. They kept talking about a glass in the street, but the glass was found under John O'Keefe's body, which was on the lawn. So I can already see some potential easy pickings you can get to on Cross. She was abruptly ended. Bev called it quits 15 minutes early. I think most likely because it wouldn't be, well, we can stay till 4:10 or something like that. No, it would have been a lengthy direct and cross. So she sent people home, and then she said, but we're going to call you back tomorrow, but later in the day. So we will start the witness today with a fresh one. I don't know who. No one knows. I'm guessing it could be Dr. Welcher, but I don't believe Dr. Welcher can be done quite as easy as they might believe. He is the key witness. They could potentially have the brain surgeon lined up. Maybe that's why they want to push the other one, because a brain surgeon might have to go and fix some brains. And they are flying in from Miami, so it could be why they pushed Hanley. So I'm thinking either Welcher or Dr. Wolf, Aziz Wolf, will be the one we're starting with today. The brain surgeon will be hit a lot about, well, you're not a pathologist. You don't know about dead people's brains. But again, it doesn't really destroy the case other than he hit his head against something. And they will then try and say, but it has to be the ground? Wouldn't there be more injuries if to the rest of his body? I think that's the cross. But as always, we never know what's going on till we see it. I hope the defense, they just need to get it all the way through to the finish line. I would rate Alessi's performance yesterday 7.5. I love the guy. I'd normally have him in the 9s, but yesterday he wasn't tickling my bone.